Hi friends! A year ago I covered pretty in-depth Doordash and Wolt when Doordash had decided to acquire the Finnish company Wolt. In this video I said I saw insider selling by Doordash insiders and lack of buying as a red flag for me as an investor, and that was one of the reasons I didn't look more deeply into Doordash as an investment. As they say, you can sell stock for millions of reasons as an insider, but you only buy it for one reason, and the one reason obviously being that you expect your company to be undervalued and the stock to go up. Another reason was that I could not determine at the time what is the competitive advantage for Wolt or Doordash. In Finland we have Wolt and Foodora by Delivery Hero, and they are both the same to me. I buy stuff, I buy food where I can get it the cheapest. Either one of them. No differences to me between these two really, and I suspect the situation to be pretty similar globally also. To me, these food delivery companies are fighting fiercely to push each other out of the competition so that one day one or few companies could in the end raise prices and become profitable at the same time, which none of them are at the moment. To me though, the competition shows only as price competition mainly, which is brutal and makes the investment case very difficult. Now they are burning cash, and us customers are the true winners here with food delivery companies fighting till death. So let's enjoy the cheap and very good service while we can, right? So, as said, the thing that put me off 1 year ago was huge insider selling and no buying at the time. And then what happened to Doordash stock price during last year, the year we have been having here, 2023. We can have a look here and ouch, down 75%. Well, that is pretty bad. And how has the insider activity been now as the stock price has only declined massively during this year? Yep, all the insiders selling still as much as they can apparently. No buying except Sequoia Capital Operations with $50 million at $93 per share. Well, that didn't pay off, at least short term. Maybe Sequoia has a long-term vision. Maybe, could be. I have only looked at this company and the industry on the surface, and I don't see many good things in it, but that doesn't mean it is not a good investment for the long term. Early red flags like insider selling and that all companies in the industry are unprofitable and likely competing with price mainly, and the fact that it is not in my circle of competence truly are the reasons I don't want to spend more time looking into Doordash, at least for now. But one thing I am honestly sad about is that my country Finland is getting far less euros from Wolt acquisition as taxes than originally thought. For those who didn't know or watch my first video, indeed, Wolt is a Finnish company and the acquisition is one of the largest ever that have happened in Finland. The decline in stock price leads to smaller taxes for Finland and of course smaller profits for Wolt owners who accepted the acquisition by Doordash as all stock transaction. They did not get any cash, only Doordash stock. I don't think it's public knowledge, but I assume these Doordash stocks Wolt people got are also under lockup, which means they haven't been able to sell them yet. Only after the lockup period they can sell. It doesn't seem to me to be public knowledge how long this lockup period is. So yeah, money they thought they would receive last year, in the end of last year, is far less, minus 75% less now than was thought in the end of last year. It is painful for sure, more so maybe to smaller owners of Wolt. For example, the CEO of Wolt, Miki Kuusi, his ownership of Wolt at the time of the announcement of the acquisition was worth 300 million euros. Now that the stock price of Doordash is down minus 75%, that 300 million euros is 75 million euros now. Miki Kuusi surely is happy though, that is still a huge amount of money. But maybe for someone who had 5 millions worth of Wolt and that 5 million euros is now 1.25 millions, that surely hurts, no question. But I also want to highlight what Kuusi also himself said in the interview with Helsingin Sanomat, a Finnish newspaper, a while ago, that the decline of valuation would have happened also if Wolt had stayed as independent company. So to argue whether it was stupid to sell Doordash is not really a smart conversation to have. Wolt's valuation would have gone down either way. Moreover, lockups are designed to keep the employees of the acquired company motivated to stay in the new company. These lockups surely hurt Wolt people who most likely would have, at least now in the hindsight, wanted to cash out right after the deal was finalized 1st of June this year. To counter this situation, Doordash has told that it has reserved incentives worth of $500 million just for Wolt people. What these incentives are not public knowledge as far as I know, so it remains to be seen whether Wolt people get huge bonuses in the future, small bonuses, or in the worst case, if this would be options with too high prices and some lockups, no bonuses at all. Maybe we will learn this later. Surely we will. Also, criticizing the deal Wolt made with Doordash if you were not an insider in those negotiations seems pretty stupid in my opinion. I obviously don't know what they have talked in those negotiations, but I am going to throw out my guess here now. This might be completely wrong, what I'm about to say next, but if I would need to guess what happened in the negotiations was this. Doordash, as we all know, wants to grow globally, and they let Wolt know that also. They told Wolt that they would challenge them and other competitors in Wolt's markets, making life obviously more difficult for Wolt from competition perspective. As there are many food delivery companies out there still, Deliveroo, Delivery Hero, Uber Eats, etc., Wolt faced a decision. Either we take on increased competition or we join Doordash. As they say, if you can't beat it, join it. Wolt decided to join Doordash. Then it was all about negotiations on what price, and Doordash wanted to continue under them as Wolt and wanted to keep Wolt's current management. Cash then was not an option. This is why Wolt people were forced to have Doordash stock instead of cash. It might be that Wolt people would have loved to get cash immediately, but weren't able to get any cash in the negotiations and still decided that Doordash stock was good enough. As said, if it would have been cash to large extent, there would have been less motivation for Wolt people to continue working under Doordash. The truth might be that Wolt was squeezed pretty hard in these negotiations, but the alternative of competing directly with Doordash would have been even worse in the long term. So accepting the all-stock purchase was the only good offer on the table. This is what I think could have happened here. So to summarize, I am not looking more deeply to Doordash as an investment. The industry has fierce competition and is unprofitable still at the moment. This combined to the fact that Doordash management and the board are getting apparently rid of their Doordash stock as quickly as possible still, when the stock price is already 70 to 80% down from a year ago. These are huge red flags for me still. If you would believe your company is undervalued, you would not sell your stock, you should be buying it instead. Well, what do you think will happen in the food delivery industry in the future? Let me know in the comments below. Subscribe to the channel if you haven't done so already, and see you in the next video then. Bye bye.